That's nicer. There we go. Picked up the wrong piece of charcoal. So drawing hair is pretty much the same thing as drawing everything else. And I get a lot of requests saying, how do you, show me how to draw hair. Like, how do you draw hair? Or how do you draw anything for that matter? Eye, nose, mouth. The truth is, it's all very, very similar. It's the same principles. You draw them the same way, but you draw them adapted to what you already know. So for example, here I'm blocking in the value of the hair. Before you start drawing strands of hair, keep in mind that the local value of the hair is going to be a lot more important, because that's going to show the definition and the fullness of the hair before you draw anything that resembles a strand at all of hair. So right now what I'm doing is I have the reference pulled up here. I already drew the face in just so you guys don't have to get bored with that and then get to the hair drawing. You can see that most of the hair is dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to block everything in as dark, because I can always erase this out to highlight it and to add depth and dimension to the values. This is a big piece of willow charcoal. I'm only doing this because there's a lot of space to cover. I could have also grabbed the pan pastel, which is black pan pastel, which is this guy along with this little tip here, and then drawn it in this way. Like, that's also a way to get a lot of material down quickly, or another piece of compressed charcoal even, but that's harder to erase. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the willow charcoal and doing that. You can use whatever you have at your disposal. It's all the same general principles. You just have to kind of change the way you approach it based on what you have at your disposal. For example, the willow charcoal is a lot more easy to rub off and erases easier, so I'm not going to be able to leave the darkest points of the drawing with just the willow charcoal. So as I block this in, I already have it kind of sketched where the hair goes, kind of like around there, and looks like the hair curves around here, and then this is part of a black shirt. But so just blocking that in, smoothing it out. You can blend it out with a blending stump even. This is just a smaller blending stump, so I'm not going to spend the time doing this all the way around. I just use my hands. So blocking that all in. I'll let it blend out and kind of bleed out here towards the bottom of the page. Not too worried about that. More concerned here, kind of where it meets the face and where the silhouette is. So the hair also wraps around this way. Now keep in mind I'm drawing dark hair here, so it'd be like a black or a brown hair mostly. If you draw blonde hair, it will be the same principle, and even straight hair, curly hair, it's all the same thing. You're going to block in the major shapes and the major values. So it'll just be like a lighter value when you're blocking the whole thing in. And if you have like a great highlight in a reference, like part of the hair is very light and part of the hair is very dark, you can split it into two or whatever that looks like. For this one, the local value range is pretty much the same all the way around. So filling that in completely. But the key is you want to draw in the color, the entire color of the hair. No strands of hair yet at all. Not till way later. Even then, it's going to be very sparing how much of the hair you actually draw in. That's not just one large color. Cool. So this already looks like hair, honestly, because just the value is kind of there. That means the darkness of it is pretty good. But let's make it look like actual hair. So now that I have a pretty decent medium to dark value, I'm gonna look over here and I see these large areas of strands of reflected light, right? And they're not too bright, because if you go way too bright, it's gonna look like the hair is like glowing or like almost too glossy and unnatural. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this kneaded eraser and start to pop in some of those areas where I see that they're a little bit lighter. Kind of lines up and kind of goes along this line, right, the brightness. Just placing that there so that I can know where to guide my highlights, kind of doing this. And they're not actual highlights in the hair, it's just where the light's hitting. Okay? Remember, work in large areas. So there's another bright light right around here. It's easy to go way too dark, so be subtle with it. Here too. And you want to go kind of the direction that the hair is going. So you can see that the hair is flowing this way. So with my strokes, I'm going to go that way. And you can see the curve of this chunk of hair here is going that way. So blocking in large areas of that. This one's lighter too. And I can see that there's a lightness kind of coming up this way too, blending that out. And the top of the hair is really dark in this reference image. So it's actually a really cool drawing just to make anyway. The cool thing about AI generated images is that they don't have copyright. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? It's a good thing because you don't have to worry about like stepping on a photographer's toes or sourcing your own images and taking your own pictures, but it means everybody has access to them, so you should probably change up your drawing in some way. I'm just doing this one for a lesson, so it doesn't really matter all that much. So keep going along with the direction of the hair, kind of being very broad in your strokes, looking at it from a full perspective, stepping away, seeing how it's reading. Don't get in too close and do all the little tiny strands and all the little tiny areas, because you want it to read well as a whole, and then you can kind of narrow down the areas that you're working on. And actually I found that in hair, the more detailed you get, the more artificial it looks sometimes. Unless you're a hyper realistic artist where you're doing little tiny areas by little tiny areas, but that's not the kind of drawing we're talking about. We're talking about a little bit more of the traditional style of drawing. What I have here is a piece of, I think it's like a dark, like soft pastel black, which is pretty much equivalent and very similar to like a chunk of compressed charcoal. So you can just pick up your compressed charcoal now and do this, unless you have a black soft pastel. Sketching pastel is what this is called. I just kind of like the texture of it, so I use it sometimes. We're gonna go way darker in some areas. Blend it out. Very subtle with the value changes, but very intentional. You can always erase out more, and you're gonna come back in and pull out some of that darkness anyway, so. But now you can start pushing it a little more than you had before. This is a lot of hair we're drawing right now. So bear with me. Work the big areas of value. Like if they're large shapes, create the artificial shapes in your mind, almost like if they're some organic shapes. Like for example, if I came in here, this whole dark shape right here is what I would try to create. And I've tried to create it right here in this area, the same shape. So that's kind of what I have in my mind while I work on it. Start there. It's also really easy to over smudge, and if you're covering, like once you get the like color you want, the value you want, and if you're covering more of your hand all over the whole thing, you're just gonna get, it's gonna be completely gray and diluted. So just try to be intentional with that. This is gonna be really dark down here. So you could just fill that in. Seems to be some type of shirt in here, so I'm just gonna block that in really quick. This is not hair in this spot. Hopefully I can show that with the sharpness and the hardness of the line. There we go. And here too. Let's complete that. Okay. Now in the hair in the background here, and the faces in front of that, Make that darker. Hair tends to be darkest where it's meeting the inside shadow area. So close to where the neck is there. It's going to be pretty dark. Darken the face a little bit, bring it in together just a little bit. I know we're going to lose some of those details, but I'm going to touch this up in a little bit afterward. So no problem at all. And then this is pretty dark back here too. The large spaces of values is where you're going to get the real hair look. Okay. Now we come back in once again, kneaded eraser, and then we start to pool in the same areas where we put some highlights earlier, the light's hitting, but this time a little more intentional with it. You can start to add a little bit of those smaller chunks of hair. It's like a big organic shape, right? With a surface that's a little textured is what it is. It's not just a bunch of strands, which it really is in real life, but it doesn't look like a bunch of strands. That's not how you get it to look like the fullness of the hair. We're gonna get this hair to a point where it looks pretty solid, and then you can kind of continue pushing your hair and the details in your hair as long as you'd like. I'm not gonna go super far into how much detail I have in the hair because that'll just be very time consuming for you guys, and I just wanna give you the principles of how to make it look good, make it look like it's actually hair. So keep that in mind. It's important to sketch out an effective area of where the hair actually is too, because you don't want to be drawing a hair in somewhere where you're actually going to need to erase it out eventually. So that's a lot of darkness to erase out. Pretty bright there, just a little bit of transparency in the edge of that. And maybe some here as well. Cool, so it's looking pretty good. So now I can take this kneaded eraser. Nope, I dropped my kneaded eraser. Now I can take this mechanical eraser and start to sparingly, we can add almost some of the strands that are catching the light a little bit. You can kind of see, don't overdo this part, but you can take your time and really find where those strands that are still catching the light and those strands behind them are dark. You can kind of see and bunch them together even like that to kind of create other chunks of hair. But they're coming out of where the light is, right? Like that. You can do this with your kneaded eraser as well if you don't have a mechanical eraser like this, and really make a sharp end to it. You see, it's a very similar effect. It might be a little thicker than what I was doing, but all of this is possible with two things, just a chunk of charcoal and this kneaded eraser really, and your oily fingers to smudge it all. That's why I wear gloves, less oily. Keeps my hands clean too. There we go. We're getting it, but I like using this one for hair. It's a lot of fun. If you have a darker skin complexion and a lighter hair, you could even go over that skin with like strands coming out of here. But this one, it won't make much sense for this piece, but just like that. And after you have that where you want it to be, you could also take this like a charcoal pencil really. This is just a MAD pencil extender. These are going to be out someday soon, not yet, from our brand. But this is a piece of a woodless charcoal pencil that got way too short, and I'm sticking in here so I can have an extension to use. That's all it is. You could just use any other charcoal pencil. But now we can see that there are some fringy outside the surface hairs that are breaking the silhouette of the hair, and just be sparing with those, and you can kind of add some in. If you get a little too crazy, then the hair is going to look really frizzy and really gross, but there's actually a dark bunch there. You don't have to get each strand correct, but kind of get the direction they're going and the lightness and darkness of what they're at relatively correct, and it'll look good. So you can break the silhouette a little bit that way here too. It'll help give it some natural feel to it. Same here. Some hair going that way. And if there's like a chunk of hair that's a little bit more stuck together, then you can make that really thick and dark like that, and then the small loose strands kind of like that. Well, that's kind of how you do hair. Let me continue working on this just a little bit and show you guys where I get to with it, because it's a lot of the same stuff. It's repetition of the same stuff using the same values and reflections and the same strands coming off the edge. I went ahead and continued working on the piece with the same principles that I was talking about earlier, just investing more time into it to kind of refine and work even smaller continuously through the hair and also the face. The face needed some work. I got a lot of secondhand charcoal from the hair earlier. So now I'm just taking this once again, this mechanical eraser, to add some really bright pieces of hair on top of those other highlights. Added a little bit more dimension, just a small amount more. That's about it. Nothing too crazy besides that. Just seeing where the piece can use some pop and details. The emphasis of the piece is definitely the hair though, so. I hope this is helpful for your hair drawing needs, and I think it's pretty applicable to any kind of hair. So you work mostly in large areas and then refine, making sure your values are good and foundational. Otherwise you're going to have what probably looks like strands of hair flat on a surface, which is not what you want. Volume and shape in the hair. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next one.